Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today I filmed an updated contour routine for you guys because I had some requests to do that. I didn't do a contour routine too long ago, but just being real with you guys, it probably wasn't the best video in the world. I used to record whenever Grayson was taking a nap, and I would be filming right outside of his door, so like all of my videos, my older videos are like in this hushed whisper talk, and it's so awkward and so weird, and I'm like, why did not just wait until he woke up? But now him knocking over my lights and tearing things up while I'm filming is the reason why. But anyway, so embarrassing, so not the best video in the world, and I'm already not that great at explaining things with words. So I'm just gonna do the best I can to explain it to you, to explain contouring to you guys. And I did show you guys several different products, drugstore and high-end, to contour with, and also different brushes so you guys could have some options. So I hope this video is helpful, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or Facebook, or just leave me a comment down below, and I will answer those questions for you guys. But if you're interested in seeing my contour routine, then just keep watching. Okay, so as you can see, my face is still baking, and my foundation, concealer, all that good stuff is done. You guys did ask for an updated brow tutorial, so that's why my brows aren't done, because I'm going to film 2 videos in one day. So anyway, I went ahead and looked up the definition of contouring because I thought maybe it might help some people. So it says, contouring is to mold into a specific shape, typically one designed to fit into something else. Well, obviously that's not makeup terminology, so right in the search results came up an article from Teen Vogue that quoted Bo Nelson, which is apparently Kristen Stewart's makeup artist, and he or she, I'm not sure if it's boy or girl, said contouring is giving shape to an area of the face and enhancing the facial structure through makeup. It's not supposed to be noticeable, just a subtle definition. So basically that's what contouring is. It's just adding dimension and a little bit of depth to your face using darker powders. So of course there are a million different skin tones. Okay, of course there are a lot of different skin tones and a lot of different face shapes and things like that. And then another thing that I wanted to say is I get a lot of compliments on my complexion. And as you can see right now, you know, it's nothing special. I'm self-tanned, you know, I'm an NC20. So really just my skin is not anything special. What the trick is to have that flawless airbrush look that so many people compliment and so many people want to achieve is knowing what features to bring out and what to do with your makeup. So here I have laid out several different drugstore and high-end products to show you guys, because you can really use just about anything to contour with. Of course, there are cooler shades to contour with, and then there are warmer shades. Anything will work. The other contour video that I did like a month or 2 ago, I did use this Wet n Wild Ticket to Brazil bronzer, which is what I use to warm up my face. So I mean, you can use that if you want to. It is a warmer tone. It does have a little bit of shimmer, but when you use a fluffier brush, it's going to really mill down the shimmer aspect, I guess. So this is one that I have, the Wet n Wild Ticket to Brazil bronzer, which obviously is very loved because I have hit pan on it. The next bronzer that I have is the Hoola Benefit bronzer, which is super popular. It just comes in this little box, and this is probably a really good bronzing shade for a wide variety of skin tones because it is cool enough to suit lighter skin tones, but it's not so cool that it might look funny and kind of chalky, you know, on a more medium skin tone. Of course, if you have a deeper, beautiful chocolate skin tone, this probably is not going to work for you. Maybe you could use it as an eyeshadow, but this is a really great product for contouring. I've noticed on me that it does start to fade a little bit, but of course everyone is different and every skin type is going to work with different products. And then another product that I mentioned in my last contouring video is this MAC single eyeshadow in the shade Omega. And the reason why I like this one is because it does have a more cool and gray undertone, so it is going to create that natural shadowy look. So as you can see, since I just touched briefly on the shadowy look, is the fact that I do have like a natural shadow to my face, and if you were to go look in the mirror right now, you would see the same thing. So you can see if you tilt your head just at the right angle, or basically really just looking straight on, of course turn to the side so you can really see the side of your cheek, you can see that you have a nice little shadow right here. Even my face is pretty flat. I don't have really defined cheekbones or anything like that, and so that's what contouring does for me. Of course, if you do, some people just really like to carve it out, and you may not even know what cheekbones are. Of course, if you were to suck in and do the fishy face, which is the trick that I'm going to show you guys and that I did mention in my last video, to help you find where you want to apply the product. So you just suck your cheeks in like a fish, and you can see that line. Of course, you don't want to go all the way down to your mouth because that's going to be super dramatic and really noticeable, but that's a really good way to find where your cheekbones are and to know where you want to place the product. So moving back on into the other products, I have this Wet n Wild contouring palette. It's the Dolce de Leche shade, and it has a highlighting and contouring color in there. I have not actually used this palette. I did buy it to do a drugstore tutorial for you guys, but it ended up just getting put into my kit. So I just went and got it out of my kit, and I'll disinfect it with my Beauty So Clean cosmetic disinfector. But I wanted to use that, and I'll probably use that in this video so that you guys can just run out to the drugstore and buy something in case you're just getting started and don't want to commit in buying a $40 contour palette. So the next palette that I have is this Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Kit, which is a great contouring kit. It has the 3 different highlighting shades and then the 3 contouring shades. This one would be ideal for fair to medium skin tones. This one would be ideal for medium skin tones. And of course, this one is the deeper and a medium to deep skin tones. So I love this palette. This is my everyday go-to palette, but again, I'm going to use a drugstore product for you guys in case you don't want to go out and buy something if you're just getting started. And the last one that I have, which is a drugstore product, but it is a little bit more pricey, is this NYX contour kit here. I got this at Ulta, and this also is in my kit. But again, this has a really good variety, and these 2 shades on the end here are like shimmer highlights. It's not anything too glittery, but basically the 2 lighter highlighting shades, which is what you would use to set your concealer with or sharpen up your contour, which I'll show you guys that, and I didn't really touch on that. But it has those 2 shades right here that are matte, and these 2 on the outside again are highlighters, and these are the 4 contour shades. So again, just to show you guys, if you have no idea what the difference is between cool and warm tones, because I know that's brought up a lot in makeup, I'll go ahead and show that to you guys. So as you can see here, this tan shade does have a more orange undertone, which is going to make it warmer. And this one here does have a more gray undertone, which is going to make it cooler. So contouring, like I said, you can use whatever shade you want to. Again, it's more ideal to use a cooler tone because it is going to create that shadow on your face. And then I did grab several different brushes just to show you guys, you know, that you don't have to spend $40 on a brush to get your contour down and become a pro. There's so many different options and things like that. So these are just ones in my personal collection, which, as you know, I don't hoard brushes. I literally have maybe 1 or 2 for each purpose, if even that. So this one is what I use to wipe off my baking powder, which I guess I can go ahead and do that. It is the e.l.f. small tapered brush, which is great. I've never used this for contouring, but I did pass along one of my, I believe it was either their small contour brush, which looks just like this, or their small blush brush. I'm not really sure, but it looks exactly like this. The brush is just a little bit different. So you guys can go pick those up because they sell e.l.f. at Target. Even seen people say that they've been able to find these brushes on or in dollar stores. So you guys can definitely go check it out. They're really affordable and they're great quality. I've had this for a long time, but the next brush that I have, which is the one that I use on a daily basis, is the Sigma F05 small contour brush. This brush is also great, which again, if you were to find the small contour brush from e.l.f., it's really going to be exactly like this, except it is more pricey, and I've had it for a long time, so I still continue to use it. Another brush, which I also mentioned in my last contour video, is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I've used this to blend out cream contour. You can use this for your foundation, you can use this to blend out your concealer, and you can also use it to contour. I've seen these brushes at Ulta, Walmart, Walgreens. I've seen these all different places, and they're a drugstore brush, I guess you could say, but they're not as affordable as e.l.f. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple of options. And then the last brush that I have is actually the brush that comes with the Benefit Hoola bronzer. It comes right in the box. So I love this brush to contour on clients with. I use it every single time. I'm actually looking for extras of these because since I did tell you guys that this bronzer fades on me, it is in my freelance kit, but I really, really love this brush, and I've been looking for these brushes that come in the blushes and the bronzer to use because I need extras in my kit. So if you guys have any, let me know and I will pay you guys for them. But I really love this brush because it literally fits right into the hollows of your cheekbones, and it's perfect for what you're doing, which is contouring. So now jumping into the actual contouring aspect, I'm again going to use the Wet n Wild bronzer, or use the Wet n Wild Contour Duo. And for this video, I'm going to use my Sigma F05, which again, you can buy an e.l.f. brush, you can buy these at Target, but this is just what I always use, so I'm gonna use it today. But anyway, you're going to want to take this shade here, which is the contour shade, and you want to apply a little bit onto your brush. My rule, especially with powders, is you can always add more, but you can't take away what you've already put down unless you were to wipe off all of your makeup. And that is super annoying, so you always want to start with a little bit and work your way up. To start at the top of your ear and kind of angle it down toward your mouth. So again, make the fishy face to find where you want to apply the product. So I'm going to suck in for you guys to show you. and you're just going to lightly dust the product on. So immediately you can see the difference, how my face literally looks more lifted and it looks like my cheeks are a little bit more plump just by applying that tiny bit of product. So I'm going to go back in for a little bit more. And you want to make sure as you're doing it that you're also blending up, just so you don't have a super harsh line. I know that sometimes we can get in a hurry and we forget that we need to blend. And once your makeup does settle, that's another big thing, that sometimes it can look a lot more choppy than you had planned if you don't take your time and really make sure that you work that up and blend it really gently, if that makes sense. So I like to take that up on my temples a little bit, and I never use a cooler tone on my forehead just because I like to be really bronzy. So I use this large Morphe M527 or one of my Sonia Kashuk brushes just to apply my Ticket to Brazilian bronzer on my forehead. So you really just don't want to overthink it, and you want to practice as much as you can. Make sure you're using a light hand and blending really well, because then there's just no way you can mess it up. So again, on the other side, and still making sure that you're blending it. And it just makes such a difference in your face. It just pulls the makeup look together. And then I go in with a small little fluffy brush like this to contour the sides of my nose, just because my nose isn't super fat, but I just like to run this down the sides of my nose to make it look more narrow. And I do have a little bump right here on my nose, so sometimes my makeup can look kind of funny. I would love to have a nose job, but I'm scared. So I just do the best I can to contour it and make it look as natural as possible. But you gotta love what God gave you. So you just make it work. And then I'm also going to take that up toward my eyebrow, just so that it doesn't look like a harsh line. And that's also going to bring in that area of my face, because again, when you use the darker color, it's going to recede the areas of your face that you don't want to draw attention to, or that you want to make look smaller. If you do want to make your jawline look smaller, you can take a bigger, fluffier brush and just run that underneath your jawline, again making sure that it's blended, because you don't want too harsh of a line. For me, my face, when I turn to the side, as you can see, it doesn't stick out very far, so this isn't really a step that I do because I kind of have like a double chin, so I always skip that. You can always take a little bit and apply it underneath your lip and add a shadow right there, and it's just going to make it look more full. Like so. And then one last thing that I like to recommend, if you feel like you've messed up or you've gotten too sloppy, then go back in with either translucent powder, a powder that matches your face, or especially if you buy this, you can go in with this lighter shade here. Take that, I'm also taking that on my small e.l.f. tapered brush, and run that underneath your contour just to clean that up. And it literally will erase any mistake that you made if you did use a light hand and blended. It's just going to clean everything up and make it look more defined. Okay, so as you guys can see, I did go ahead and add my blush and the bronzer to my forehead. But basically, I just wanted to do a quick little rundown of what I said, because I know I can jump all over the place and I'm not the best with wording and explanation. So contouring, again, is just adding a darker color powder to areas of their face that you want to recede and make look smaller. So that's why I place it onto my cheekbones and down the sides of my nose, just to draw in my cheekbones and make my face look more lifted, and then also to make my nose look more narrow. So I showed you guys a couple different brush options, a couple different contouring powder options, and you can always use a cream. I recommend the Stila Contour Duo. I love, love, love that one. And they do come in 3 different shades, so no matter what skin tone you are, you'll be able to find a match to that. And then do your fish face to find the hollows of your cheeks and just add a little bit of product. And then lastly, and really most importantly, is always go with a light hand, because again, you can always add more, but once you put it down, you can't take it away. So make sure you go with a light hand and make sure that you are blending to the best of your ability, because that's super important if you want a more natural and flawless looking application. You probably ever ask someone, they're gonna say, oh, contouring is so easy. And if I were to go in for a piano lesson, say, and the instructor was like, okay, sit down and play a B flat for me, I'm gonna look at her like she's crazy. So if you are just starting out to makeup and you've always loved makeup, but you really want to learn how to do different techniques and learn different tricks, me telling you that contouring is so easy when you love makeup or you're just starting in makeup and you aren't really sure what to use and what to do, you're gonna think I'm crazy. But I promise that it will get easier with just a little bit of practice. Every night before bed, you can practice your wing liner or your contour or your eyeshadow, anything like that, and then just wipe it off. And if you didn't like the way it came out, again, it's just makeup. You can try again the next night. So don't get discouraged. I hope that I was able to help you guys with this video in some way. So if you did find it helpful, or if you might have a few other questions that maybe I didn't touch on enough and explain well enough, just leave me a comment down below or even send me a message if you'd like to. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.